Good evening, everyone. Hello and happy Sunday. This is Sunday, November the 9th. Welcome to our leadership development call. My name is Miriam Kareem. So happy to have everybody here so we can learn how to grow our businesses and get down to the real meat of learning how to just really take off and get it going. Quick trip to the newbie corner. So I was thinking about something that Coach Seymour said about deciding, and I believe all our coaches have said this too, but really it kind of gave me a little quick start. I'm thinking I'm here in Chicago, and I even mentioned to Coach Will, saying, okay, well, I can't wait to get back, to Texas so I can get started. And I'm like, no, I'm going to start. Just do what I got to do now while even if I have to sneak away for 5 minutes and send some text messages out and do it, I've got to do it. And I, decided to just do that for the last few days because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get back because of the airplane situation, airport and the canceling flights, and it can may not be the best time, which is fine with me. But I did that, and I've been getting some really great feedback. And I'm like, okay, is it because of the AI? Is it because I just truly believe that I can do this now, or is it just what is it? And just I'm serious. I'm sitting here like I'm serious. It's just so funny because I am sitting here like, what? Really? They said, yeah, they decided just like that. What is going on? But I just, once you have that, you have made up in your mind, nothing's going to stop you. You can do this business. I'm telling you guys. Take it from somebody who would see other people succeed and would be like, yeah, okay, that's great. They're doing great. But when you finally start seeing it for yourself, it is the best feeling in the world. So that being said, I'd like to bring our teacher to the stage, Coach Will Zander. He is a multiple seven-figure earner in the network marketing world, seven-figure earner at our Green Organic company at HBN, Heart and Body Naturals, and our first six-figure earner at Godasana, an amazing teacher, always knows how to motivate you, get you to where your business needs to be. So, Coach Will Sanders, are you available, sir?
Miriam, I am available. Thank you so much. And
Yes,
for the
you're
kind
welcome.
introduction. And thank you, Coach Marcus, as well. And I want to tell y'all a couple of cool things, but be glad that this one's recorded because if it wasn't, um, excuse me, you'd be missing out on some of the most amazing level 3 content that I think I've ever done. I didn't really want to do this class. Uh, I was hoping that I wouldn't have to be quite frank, but just based on how everything's going and the state of the world and this, that, and the third every couple of years, I find that we have to do a class like this just to kind of let everybody know what time it is and that everything's going to be okay because it's kind of wild out there. And I don't know if people are really noticing. If you haven't, the level 3 content tonight will help you notice and understand where we're going. But I just want to open up with a little bit about what Miriam talked about. It's so funny how we do talk a good bit with the coaches and everything. Uh, but it's funny whenever Coach Marcus and I do a call, or me and Coach Seymour or Miriam, our hostess with the mostest, one of the up and coming leaders in the industry, whenever people do a call and I hear that they talk and then I'll talk or vice versa, it always resonates exactly with what we were going to talk about. I really think that that's a spiritual thing more than anything. So thank y'all for always providing such value, Coach Marcus, Miriam, Coach Sonic, Coach Seymour for sure. Just thank y'all so much, Coach Tina, because it always works out really well. Now you'll notice one of the things Miriam said was, is it the AI training? Is it her confidence that she thinks she can really do this business, or she knows she can really do the business? What is it that's causing her to get these amazing results? Not all of a sudden. Y'all have seen her work and things like that, and her effort and things of that nature. I can tell you, Miriam, it's everything. It's everything you've been doing, just coming to a point where you're transitioning to that level 4 level of learning that we always talk about. But because of the newbie corner as such a valuable part of our trainings on Sunday and Tuesday, exactly her consistency. Thank you, Coach Marcus. Because people have been able to see you grow and go from, well, guys, somebody told me no today and it's okay. And then now it's just the confidence and the posture. I think somebody just said posture in the chat. It's everything. It started off with people who know Miriam when she first got here as a standpoint of you don't know what you don't know. And I'm not singling her out. We all go through this. This is the process in which you grow into a top earner in this industry. It never fails. It's the same thing for every person every time. Some people may look to go through this process a little bit faster than others because they've been doing this a little longer, or maybe they have some skills that they brought from a different career before they got here. All right. Remember what I always tell you: the person you were before you joined this type of business will either bless you or curse you once you join this business. If you were a person of integrity who knew how to manage money and you had good relationships with people before you joined a network marketing opportunity, that is going to bless you. If you're the type of person who had bad credit, you never kept your word, you weren't a really good friend to people, things like that, that is going to curse you when you come over to this industry. And you can get past it. You can do personal development and grow as a person, as we all had to. But that's just the truth. So when y'all watch Miriam, she's gone through these levels of number one. We call it in unconscious incompetence. You don't know what you don't know. We all start off there. We have no idea what we're doing when we get involved in this industry. We just excited and fired up for no reason whatsoever. And it can be wild. And it's a rude awakening when you graduate to level two. Okay. And level two is going to be conscious incompetence. You're still incompetent. You have no idea what you're doing on a professional level, but at least you know that and you know what you're not good at. And I got a chance to watch Miriam go to that level, just like we all did. And then you graduate to level three, which is conscious competence. Conscious competence is when you know some stuff, but it's not automatic. You still got to go through your notes. You got to copy paste the scripts. You're doing it, but it's kind of tough. It's not smooth just yet, right? And y'all all got a chance to see her there too. And now she's graduating to level 4 in a lot of different areas. And Will, what's level 4? Level 4 is a level we call unconscious competence, where you really don't have to think about it. It just kind of works out. It's automatic. I don't care if you're in Chicago, like Miriam said, if she was in Dallas first, now she's in Chicago. She's like, I can do this anyway. I have the skills, I have the tools. The AI stuff is great. That's just timing and coincidence. I would have been good anyway. But it's the point that she's graduating internally because of the consistency and the work and the coachable and teachable. And she's made the requisite sacrifices and she reads the books over and over again. She got to a level where now she's, again, unconscious competence. She's really like, I don't know why this is working out so smooth right now. Me either. Me either. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. When you get to that level, it's everything works. Everything always worked. It's just the level of graduation. So if anybody who's right now watching this live or on recording, just know you're going through one of those 4 stages too. I can guarantee. And I'm oversimplifying it right now, but you're going through one of those 4 stages. In unconscious incompetence, you have no idea what's going on, but don't quit. Stay with it because you will graduate to conscious incompetence. You still don't know what you're doing really, but at least you know that already. And you get to decide to go to level 3 based on learning and staying plugged in and watching the videos and reading the books and coming to the events like Las Vegas. Las Vegas announcements coming up on Tuesday. We have updates with both companies coming up on Tuesday. And also everybody who's in the fitness challenge told me they like it better when I post it instead of talking about it on the call. So I'll post the results for this week in the chat after this call. All right. But that being said, thank you, Miriam. And everybody show her some love in the chat because she's been very vulnerable, very transparent, allowing everyone to watch and witness her growth and grow with her. And you guys and girls are all going through the same process. You're somewhere on level 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just stick with it. You will have the same eureka moment, right? You'll have the same aha moment as she did, as we all did. And we've been telling you this for 6 years straight. Okay. We've been teaching that 4-step levels. We've been teaching that for 6 years. We've told you that a million times, but you get to watch it with her. Okay. So do me a favor, level 1, 2, 3, or 4, put that in the chat where you think you're at right now in your business. Doesn't matter where you are. I'm just curious to see how many 1, 2, 3s, and 4s we have on the call. And while people are doing that, I'll tell you, there's a certain level that's beyond level 4. And level 5 is going to be a level of mastery. Well, what is that, Will? If level 4 is unconscious competence, you just kind of know what you're doing. It's kind of smooth and easy. When you watch Coach Marcus, you watch a Coach Seymour, they're not really trying hard, right? They've been doing this for so long, they got it figured out. Level 5 is the level that everyone's going to aspire to. And level 5 is going to be a level of mastery. And you only notice it when you start to duplicate. When you have people in your organization that have made $50,000, $100,000, $250,000, and you had something to do with that in some capacity, you are at level 5. Now you are teaching people the same way we do for you each and every week, how to go through level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you have to move along that path. You can't skip any step. And the steps that you go through, you can go through them faster if you stay plugged in, you stay learning, you stay working, you stay coming to the events, you stay using the products and building your belief in those areas on calls just like this. You will get to those levels faster. Okay. Most people quit at level 2. The second they figure out this is going to be hard, they're out of there. All right. And one of the a good mindset that I really enjoy for you, when I say network marketing is hard, it's not hard. A cancer diagnosis is hard. Okay. Some of the information we talk about tonight is going to be hard to process. I can tell you that. Losing a parent or losing a child, losing a spouse, this is hard. You know, getting in a bad car wreck and almost dying, being assaulted and surviving and having to call the police and all that type of stuff. That is hard. There's so many hard things in this world. Network marketing is not hard. It's just not. So when people say network marketing is hard, their perspective about life is really just warped. Life can be super hard, super hard. Network marketing in comparison to that, it's just talking to people. You can talk to them online, you can talk to them AI, you can talk to them on the phone, you can talk to them on text, you can talk to them in person, nobody cares. It's just talking to people. That is not hard to do, okay? So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is level 3 content night tonight. You know, this is all right. I'm gonna talk about. Let me say the last thing, because Miriam she didn't talk long, but she gave y'all some straight gems. Let me touch on one more thing she said. She said people are just joining. She's sending them a little 15-second clip, some AI stuff or whatever she's doing, and they're joining. I want you to understand why that's happening from a standpoint of psychology. And this is a really good book. I didn't write this one. This book is by Vance Packard. I was talking about it last week and I couldn't remember the author. All right. This is called The Hidden Persuaders by Vance Packard. This book is like $12 on Amazon or something. Super good book. If you read this book and understand this book, you will understand marketing and sales at a different level. You'll watch TV commercials and go, I know where they got that from. So this is a really good book for my book readers. I don't think it's on audiobook, but it's not expensive, 10 or 12 bucks. Super, super good book to add to your library. Do not get it if you're at level 1 or 2. This is only for professionals who have the time and energy to read whole books and understand that. But for my newbies, yeah, Vance Packard. Thank you, Shauna. Vance Packard, Packard, Vance Packard. The book is called The Hidden Persuaders. It's an older book, but it is. I'll tell you what it says. What makes us buy, believe, and even vote the way we do? It is exactly what that is. Fabulous book. And yeah, I just couldn't remember the name of it. One more book I'll give you. This one is also not, this is also cheap. This is like maybe $9 or $10. This is a super short book. This is a book I do recommend for newbies. And you know, I rarely recommend books unless I write them or somebody on our team wrote them or something, or Big Al wrote them, because all you who've been coming to events had a chance to meet Big Al and be trained by him. You know, he's made hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever. But this book I really like. This is a great book. It is a book on social media, super quick read. And it is called The Quick Start Guide to Network Marketing on Social Media by Sarah Higdon. This book actually is the only book on social media network marketing I've ever found that really does it the way that we do it. I cannot. This is the first book on social media network marketing that I have found that does it almost like we do it. So if you don't feel like training your new person on social media, get this book. It's super, super quick, super, super cheap, short. She cuts right to the point. I actually endorse this book. I don't get paid to talk about this book, but I bought it, I read it, and I love it. And I've read over 500 different books about personal development, network marketing. the 30 or 40 that I always recommend to you are the ones that actually have good stuff. The other ones, do not waste your time or money reading them. But this is by Sarah Higdon, Higdon, Sarah Higdon. I think she's related to Ray Higdon. I'm not really sure. I know Tina and Ray Higdon have worked really well together, but it's called The Quick Start Guide to Network Marketing and Social Media. This is the only network marketing social media book I actually like. And it is really, really short and really, really good. And it's nothing new. Let me be clear. Do not buy this book if you're already good at social media. It has nothing, everything in it we already do. But if you have new members or you need a refresher and you don't want to go track down and find the social media recordings that we do, that book is about 80% of what we teach on social media, 80 for 85%. Love it. Absolutely love it. Think it's great and highly recommend it. All right. So one more thing Miriam talked about. Okay. She said people are just doing stuff and I'm just sending them stuff and they're resonating with them. They're reaching out to me. They're following back up. They're joining like, what? I just sent them a 15, 20-second clip. Like what? Let me explain what's happening. When people see a trailer for a movie, how long is a movie trailer? It can be 20 to 30 seconds a lot of times, okay? Not 3 minutes, not a music video. A movie trailer can be around 30 seconds. And some of those seconds are the words at the end, coming soon, this, that, or a third. So really 20, 25 seconds is a movie trailer. Based on a movie trailer, we decide in our mind to do a couple different things. Number one, we decide if we're going to go to the movie or not. The actors and everybody and the producers did not have to convince us to go to the movie and call us and follow up with us 10,000 times. We see the 25 seconds of material on the trailer and we make a decision whether or not we're going to see the movie. Okay. How many people, put a 1 in the chat if you've seen a movie trailer and decided to go see the movie? Put a 1 in the chat. Now, when you see the movie trailer, let's think about what decisions your mind makes once you see that movie trailer. You already decided that you're going to spend at least 3 hours, 30 minutes to drive front and back, and 2 hours at the movies. You've already decided to spend 3 hours of your time that you can never get back. You've already decided. And that can be time you spend working at your job or your business, and you're not going to be doing it for those 3 hours. So you're giving up money because you're giving up time, and you're giving up 3 hours of your time that you can never, ever get back based on what? 30 seconds? Okay. You've also decided that you are going to spend, nowadays, if you get your tickets online, at least $20 for the movie ticket, and you're never going to go to the movies by yourself. It's going to be at least 2 tickets. That's going to be $40, easy $40. If you go to IMAX or the 4DX theater, it's all going to be more. It's going to be more. All right. So you're already going to spend 3 hours and $40. When you go to the movies, you're not going to not get a Coke or a Pepsi or some popcorn or a hot dog or some candy. You're going to spend 20 some dollars, sometimes $30 on refreshments and snacks, which you know are expensive at the movies, or relatively speaking, expensive. So that's 70 some dollars in 3 hours right out the gate, based on a 30-second piece of information with pictures, video, and sound. So when Miriam sends a person picture, video, and sound for anywhere between 15, 20, 25, 30 seconds maximum, it's not difficult for them to make a decision to say, I'm going to spend $70, which is 50 BV plus tax and shipping, and 3 hours to learn the basics of how to do this business. All they have to do is see the information. She's using AI skills and software and generative cinematics like we teach in the class. If you don't have a recording, you should probably get it. And she took those skills, practiced them, and now she's basically sending a movie trailer to people of some capacity. I'm just describing it that way. And they're making a decision to spend 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, $70 in at least 3 hours of their time to learn the basics. Does it make sense? It's the same way the human brain works, but you're combining sound, audio, visual, and pictures. This is why these skills are important. So I want to thank Miriam for pointing that out. It gives us a great opportunity to talk about taking the time and effort to learn new skills, even if it's hard, even if it's difficult. I can promise you it's worth it. We wouldn't teach it if it didn't work, and we wouldn't teach it if it wasn't worth it. Okay, period. All right, that being said, tonight is level 3 content night. And remember, level 1 content is how to do something. Level 2 content is how to do something even better. Okay, thank you. Jessica said the class was priceless. I'm glad you thought so too. And I'm gonna be doing a version of it that's a lot cleaner, crisper, sharper. The screen shares are smoother, and I'm gonna put that on recording for people just to make it more streamlined because it really ended up super good. And there's some extra stuff I want to share that we didn't have time to share anyway, but y'all got more than enough information to keep going. And then you have level 3 content. Level 3 content is content that changes the way that you see the world. It changes the way that you think about things. So I'm going to give you some verses tonight, and you better remember these because this call can get a little scary for you. Psalm 27, chapter 27, verse 1, it says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" So understand, no matter what we're talking about, you have nothing to fear. Although the stuff on this call may make you feel that way, I want you to understand it's not coming from a place of fear. It's coming from a place of knowledge and facts. And you know, with our team, we are going to shoot y'all straight. Sometimes the calls are not going to be about how amazing our products are and this, that, or a third, and how amazing our comp plan is and things of that nature. Sometimes it's going to be information that you really need to know and information that you wouldn't know if you wouldn't involved with our organization. Okay, that verse, Richard, was Psalms chapter 27, verse 1. Let me give you one more from the New Testament. John chapter 14, verse 27. "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid." So don't be afraid. We're going to talk about some information tonight that's going to change the way that you see things. And hopefully, if it has the desired result, you're going to understand how important this business really is, not just for you, but for everybody. So we'll start off tonight by taking a walk down memory lane, and we're going to talk about the Roman Empire, which at a time was the greatest empire in the known world, and Rome ruled almost everything. Okay. Now, what happened? Rome expanded from Britain, not the Britain, but Britain in Rome, Britain, to Mesopotamia, and they started stretching logistics and they expanded their military all over the world. Now, here was the problem: their governance capacity got beyond sustainability. Too many soldiers, they got to eat. They kept spending to finance their military in their quest to just take over the world. And those wars that they had to fight in all of those countries, it drained the treasury and the money in Rome. So then there's silver denarius. They used to have a silver coin called the denarius. It's mentioned in the Bible several times. The denarius was a 100% silver coin. Now, the silver content of that coin dropped and they started making them out of copper and everything else. And so it lost 95% of its value. Okay. And then inflation followed. Rome's money became worthless. Then they started taxing people even more. Trade slowed down because people didn't trust Rome's money because they were in debt. And then the Roman Empire split in the East and West. East became the West, the Byzantine Empire. They were fine. The Western Empire fell about 400 years after Christ, 400 something AD. It was over for Rome. And now Rome is just a cool place where people vacation to, people live there, but you hear about Italians, you don't really hear about Romans anymore. Think about that. When's the last time you heard somebody say, "Hey, I'm Roman"? They gone. You hear Italian, you don't, it's not, I'm laughing, but it's not funny. They're over. That empire fell. So you got to understand that. A lot, we weren't around back then, but history repeats itself because people never listen to history. Then you have the Spanish Empire. Now, a lot of people didn't know Spain was on the ball with King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella and the Spanish Inquisition. Spain was running the world as we know it. Okay, now what happened to Spain? Same thing as Rome. They had a huge global reach from Europe to the Americas and Asia. Just understand that. They had massive fleets of ships, huge armies, but armies got to eat. And when the country, empire, Spain was not a country, it's an empire. Rome was an empire, Spain an empire. Spain was fighting wars against the Dutch, the English, the Ottomans, which we now know as the Turks. And Turkey, the Ottoman Empire was another empire. And Spain had to borrow from bankers. You know, once the banks get involved, it ain't good, right? So then they were in so much debt, they did the same thing that Rome did. They started devaluing their currency by making their money cheaper to make and less silver and less gold and making it basically fraudulent. And it caused Europe-wide inflation because Spain's currency was the main currency of the region and the world. It weakened their domestic economy and their empire ended up falling. So you got to notice that when you see debt, when you see military overextension and financial instability, and then you see the currency start losing value, it's only a matter of time, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 90 days sometimes. It's only a matter of time before the empire falls. Another example is France, the French Empire, under who? Napoleon. Remember, when Napoleon was there, France was running the show. He expanded rapidly across Europe, endless wars, and eventually the financial costs caught up with France and the economic troubles happened, and France has never been the dominant world power ever since. Never. Spain has never been. They're cool places to either live or vacation. I want to go to Paris to see stuff. It's not a world power as far as we call the shots around the world. It's just what it is. So this is a classic pattern. Now, does anybody think of what country is exhibiting these same type of silly decisions on behalf of their politicians? Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody take a guess? Anybody want to take a guess? I hate to say it, ladies and gentlemen, we had to wait and see if the president was going to do everything he said he was going to do. And like most politicians, he did not. I'm not bashing this president. I'm not bashing the last president. I'm just letting you know that under the leadership of whatever we got elected in the Senate and the House of Representatives and the president and the Supreme Court, I'm going to just let you know that our beloved country is exhibiting the same historical patterns, extensive global commitments, fighting wars that we ain't got nothing to do with, significant national debt, inflation. Don't get me started on inflation. And it's really a conversation that people do not need to be scared to have, okay? It happened to the Ottoman Empire too. I could go on for every empire, with no exception, has fallen once they start doing these things. You just got to understand that, okay? So here is an outline that you can write down if you want, just so you can understand. And I'm going to give you the 7 steps where empires fall. And once an empire get past step 4, you do not see, you never seen one turn around. So this is not to scare you. The good book says, don't be afraid. The fact that you know this information years in advance will allow you to prepare properly so you and your family are fine. By the time a lot of people hear about this, when it really matters in a couple of years, 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30 years, or sooner, they're going to be shocked. Like, oh my gosh, what do you mean? Okay, so we want to talk about it early so that you're okay. Put a 1 in the chat if I have your permission to be brutally honest. Now, I can cut this whole thing off and be just not brutally honest. I can just sugarcoat everything, tell everybody it's great, let's move some products, let's get paid, right? I can, because that's what we talk about and that's what we do. We get healthy, we get wealthy. All that's true. Once in a while, every couple of years, I have to do a training like this because we want you to have, it's something real funny. It's a very rare commodity these days. We want you to have, it's called the truth. It's called the truth. And it's called the truth in a time frame that is relevant for you to do something about it, okay? Now, these are 7 steps. This has happened every time an empire's fallen, every single time throughout history, every single time, these steps. And by the time a country or empire, not an empire, gets to step 5 or so, they've never been able to turn it around. It's just about preparing and figuring out what you're going to do, okay? Step number 1, how do empires fall? Expansion and overreach. The empire just grows too big. We just grow too big. We just get too big and we got our hands in everything all around the world and our hands are not where they need to be. That's how that goes. That's number 1. Number 2, when that happens, you always have military overcommitment. There's constant wars. Whenever there's constant fighting and your country's always fighting, not because people are attacking it, but because they're going out to go do stuff, that is never good. Historically speaking, it's never good. Never good. It's never been good, okay? When that happens, step 3 is almost inevitable. Debt buildup. There has to be heavy borrowing to sustain that level of global expansion. You got to feed soldiers. You got to pay them. Okay, they got to have weapons and planes and guns and tanks and food and hospitals and military bases and all of this type of stuff in countries that we have no business in. All right, but whatever, we don't we don't call the shots, folks. And then when you have that debt buildup, then you're gonna have currency debasement. They just gonna start printing money. You notice how many places are saying that we don't accept any coins, or we don't have any coins? We can't give you no change. Have you anybody noticed that? When you go to some restaurants or drive-ups or some places, there's a little sign. How many people have ever seen that? Put a one in the chat if you've seen a little sign that says something like, "Ain't no coins here, player. We ain't got none." I've never seen that before the last few years. What you mean we running out of coins? That's crazy work. Crazy work. But coins, yeah, some places don't even take cash. Not because they don't want to take cash, but because they don't have any change to give you. Okay? Yeah, you travel enough, you're gonna start seeing that around America, and that's crazy. For the record, that's a sign. That is a sign, by the way. Then when the currency debasement happens, step number 5 comes up: internal instability. What does that look like, Will? It looks like economic volatility. For example, how many people know somebody who have been laid off or lost their job, even though they didn't do nothing wrong, within the last year or two? I know several people. I know several people. How many people saw the news report about Amazon laying off 30,000 people on a Monday? Just a random Monday. Y'all out. Them people got an email at 5 in the morning. Email said, "Your services are no longer needed. Deuces." Signed, Jeff Bezos. Think about this. Amazon had record profits in the billions and billions of dollars. And billions of profit dollars. They just sent some people to space. Sure, they put some people in a rocket, and we don't, whatever. But they got money to do dumb stuff like that. He fired 30,000 people. Jeffrey Bezos, what are you doing? Right? So just understand that is called economic instability. When you got a good job and you don't do nothing wrong, and they just like, "Yeah, you out, bro. Holler at you." We have never seen this many people that are veterans at their workplace be laid off within the last 2 to 3 years. We've never seen nothing like it. Not in my lifetime. We've never seen nothing like it. Okay? Now, economic instability leads to social unrest, because trust and believe, if people wouldn't have got their SNAP benefits, they would have snapped. Seen some social unrest in some cities around the country. Luckily, you didn't see that, because the Supreme Court got involved, and they're like, "Hey, man, if you got money to build a new ballroom or something, we got money in the budget for these SNAP benefits. Like, keep it a buck. If you got money to send $50 billion to Israel, peak game, we got money for these SNAP benefits." So the Supreme Court got involved, thank goodness, and was like, "All right, man, get these people their food. You can't just cut them off with no warning. Like, it's holiday time. What are you doing, bro?" So again, not complaining, not criticizing. I'm pointing out that this country is currently experiencing internal instability, economic instability, and social unrest is right there. So we're at step 5. That's where we at right now in America. And I've looked at every empire that's ever existed. I've never seen a country turn it around once they get to step 5. Never seen it. Now, some countries can delay the inevitable for decades and decades and decades, 40, 50 years, but I've never seen them not make it to step 6. Will, what's step 6? External pressure and fragmentation. Now, this is when it gets ugly. It's not happening right now. You got time, relax, don't be scared. But I've just got to let you know, this is what the history books don't teach our kids in school. Them books ain't worth a dang, okay? Once you get to step 6, it's external pressures and fragmentation. Rival powers look to take advantage, okay? Rival powers look to take advantage, okay? Hadn't happened yet. But just know, when you have different type of attacks and things like that, you even see territory start to break away. How many people ever heard Texas talk about, "We're going to succeed and we're going to be our own country"? Yeah, 4 was currency debasement, the devaluing and inflation of the currency. How many people have ever heard Texas and Florida say stuff like, bro, we just gonna leave the country. We ain't gonna be no part of that, right? We've heard it. We've heard them say it. I used to live in Texas, right? I used to hear this all the time, man. Texas is gonna succeed. We don't want nothing to do with America. It's crazy, but Texas said that, Florida said that, California says that sometimes. You starting to hear some crazy talk, right? But guess what? This is what happened when the British colonies broke away. Remember, the British Empire fell the same way. Do y'all not remember the Revolutionary War when the British colonies in America, like New England, where you think that name came from? New England, New Hampshire. These were names of places in the British Empire. Okay? The empire, the British colonies in America said, you know what? Y'all weak. You doing too much. You fighting all over the place. We can revolt now and create our own thing. Holler at you, Britain. And it was rival powers and territories breaking away. Trust and believe Hawaii as an American state, they could dip at any moment. Alaska, sure, that's America. They could dip at any moment. Puerto Rico, they could dip at any moment. You see what I'm saying? You gotta understand this could happen at any time in the future, but you're already seeing this stuff happen. Nothing I've told you tonight has not been a fact that you don't know already. True? If I've told you one thing tonight that you didn't already know is factual, let me know what that is in the chat. Okay. And then you have step number 7. That's when new states emerge from the old empire's remnants. But excuse me, this is what I'll say. When step 6 happens, that's when civil war happens. That when it get crazy. Step 7 is that transition. You don't want to be broke and trying to go to work and not have no money or no food during step 6 and 7. You don't want to be a part of the people in the bread lines trying to survive, because it gets ugly for regular people during step 6 and 7. It gets very, historically speaking, it gets very ugly for regular folk, just good people trying to live during step 6 and 7, because ain't no food, ain't no water. The public services, electricity might be down for months or years. You have no idea. And I don't want anybody to have to deal with that. So we're going to talk about tonight will help you. So just understand, is America following the 7 steps of empire decline? Yes, we are squarely in the beginning of step number 5. Just get over it. Yeah, blackout will come. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, maybe 5 years, 10 years, maybe 1. I don't know. My point is, historically speaking, I'm gonna give you all the worst case scenario. Historically speaking, about 10 years. You got about 10 years. Best case scenario, 50 years. No civil war, if they even have that, because a lot of times it's just the country collapsing. It's not necessarily infighting and civil war. Although the elites and the powers that be want America to have a civil war, Americans just seem to be too smart. Like at some point, the Democrats and the Republicans and the liberals and the conservatives all are starting to figure out, wait a minute, all y'all trying to get us to fight each other, y'all probably on that Epstein list, ain't y'all? Y'all probably fooling with that Epstein stuff. People are starting to figure out that we do not need to fight each other. People are starting to figure, yeah, thank goodness it's being recorded. People are starting to wake up to the fact that none of us are each other's enemies. This ain't the 60s. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? People are black, white, Latino, Asian, immigrant. Everybody's starting to figure out the government really isn't our friend. They really don't care. Like they chilling, right? You got to understand that. And so luckily, I don't foresee a civil war here in America. That's just me. I don't see it. Historically speaking, it doesn't point to that. Historically speaking, it points to the economic, collapse of the empire within the next 10 to 50 years. And that's just me telling you what I've seen in my research. No need to be scared. You got plenty of time to prepare and get right and everything. But my point is, there are some parallels there. It's not a perfect one-on-one comparison, but it's a very thought-provoking line of thought on where our country currently stands in that cycle. When you think about the fact that the United States has over 700 military bases worldwide in over 80 different countries, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money getting spent, right? That's a lot of overreach. We think about our annual military budget, not including black ops and illegal stuff they shouldn't be doing. Just the stuff that they let us know about is $850 billion. You take the black ops drug stuff that the government be doing, it's over $1 trillion. The military budget is over $1 trillion a year. Get over it. Yeah, there are bases that a lot of people don't know about. The deep underground military bases. Jessica was in the military. She was the police. She'll tell you they got stuff we don't know about. So it's over $1 trillion for the military budget every year. $1 trillion with a T. $1 trillion with a T. Okay. Our national debt is at 38 trillion. No country has a national debt as high as ours. Not one. I looked at them, all of them. None. There is no other country with a national debt of $38 trillion. Just get over that. And in the United States, you know, our GDP is about 30 trillion a year. We make a lot of money. We produce a lot of goods. We make a lot of money, provide a lot of services, generate a lot of income. But if you took every dollar every human being in the country made for a whole year, it still wouldn't pay off the debt. Just get over that. Just get over it, okay? But we got a big country, but a big national debt, and you got to kind of watch that. So just understand conceptually. Now, when and if you're getting ready for things like this, I'm going to give you the top 5 things that you need to have in your possession that are very, very important, other than your sound mind and your health. If you don't have your health and you're not prioritizing your health, if you're not walking and drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, taking your supplements and your products to stay healthy, you got to stay healthy. Why? Because if something happens and you actually get real sick and got to go to the hospital, hospitals might be closed. Hospitals might be bombed. You really don't know. You have no idea. So you might as well try to be as healthy as you can. And age is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. I posted something in a group the other day. Dude was 70 years old, lifting 200 and 300 pounds. Y'all seen Coach Charlotte. Age is irrelevant. If you take care of your body, you can reverse any condition you've had. I'm not a doctor, not giving you medical advice, but you can talk to Coach Seymour. You can hear his testimony and the story about how he reversed his health. He's healthier now than he was 20 years ago. You got to think about that. Okay, so you really want to be healthy and you want your family to be healthy. You want to be able to walk and move around. This is important to be functional. You don't have to look like a fitness model, but you need to be able to sit down, stand up, and walk for a couple of blocks and not get tired. This is a very important skill to have, okay? On top of that, what you want to have in addition to your health, which is the most important thing, a sound mind and sound body are the top 2 things you need to have, a sound mind and a sound body. Okay, and for people who are disabled, who have health challenges, you want to be as healthy as you possibly can. And network marketing is wonderful because it allows you to have a network, a community of people that you can look out for who can also look out for you. Okay, so I have people in my family that are significantly elderly, and some of them have some different health conditions and things. But guess what? We have a strong network of family members that always look out for all our other family members. You have to start to look at your network marketing team, especially in your local area. Okay, this is why it's important to come to events and meet each other, because you have a network of people who can look out for you. For example, let's say Gina Wilson, who is in Virginia, but let's say Gina Wilson happened to be in Florida and something crazy happened. You think Gina Wilson couldn't call me and my family wouldn't look out for Gina Wilson? Of course we would. Of course we would. It's not even a question. It's the network. It's the network. If I had a cousin in Atlanta and something bad happened to him and it was going to take me a day or 2 to get there, you think I couldn't call Miss Charlotte Whitaker or Tiara Moore and say, hey, could you look out for my little cousin? You know, she got 3 flat tires out there. I can't be there for another 10 hours. Can y'all just look out? They would look out, and they know that I would do the same. You have to understand how important it is to be a part of a company and a team with integrity that actually cares about you and looks out for you. You don't even need it right now. And I pray that you never, ever, ever need it. But if you did, this is a team that you can actually, and this is why it's important to come to events, to use your products, to be on this. All of this stuff is important because people don't get a chance to know you in the right way, in that capacity. Like, I got somebody hopped on, they quit the fitness challenge. They don't come to no events. I'm like, I'll be like, Miss Charlotte, I would, but I don't even know that person. I don't even know them like that. I can't, but if Miss Charlotte said, hey, Will, that's my daughter, my cousin, my husband, my this, my dad. Oh, we got you. I'm gonna pick them up. Where they at? They in Florida? I got it. I'm on it. They in Louisiana? Okay, I'm not in Louisiana, but I got friends, family, and team members in Louisiana. Don't worry, Miss Charlotte. My little brother's going over to take care of it right now. They're gonna hold it down until you get there. Don't worry about it. You see, that should give you a certain sense of peace. In Pittsburgh, St. Louis, in the West Coast in Oregon. We got teams, look, Louisiana, Lillian and Butch. If Lillian and Butch, and they got 3 kids, okay, 3 kids, all right? If any one of their children had anything happen to them in Florida or anywhere, they know we have some people that are looking out, and vice versa for sure, okay? That is one of the most important things that you'll ever get out of this business. A sound mind, a sound body, okay? And a tribe. Thank you, Shauna. A team. An actual team of real people who actually fool with you in real life, not just on the internet, and not just because you produce in mad volume and you $1 million earner. And no, because we actually love each other as a team in real life. Craziest thing I've ever seen. I don't know any other company that has it like that but us. I just don't know another one. Okay. Now, let me give you 5 things that you do want to hold and accumulate over the next 5 to 10 years, because these things are going to become a lot more valuable. Okay. Number 1, I'm going to put this on the top of the list. I'm going to say silver. Why? Because it's affordable. And if the US dollar ever collapses, you can use silver. I'm not telling you go spend all your money buying silver now, but I do recommend once a month, you go to even Amazon and you buy a silver coin. Now, I remember when they were $30. Now they're like 60. Think about that. Why? Because silver is increasing in value. One of my favorite things to buy at least once or twice a month is a little bag. It may be 60 or 70 bucks, but it's a bunch of little pieces of silver. Little pieces of silver, and that is as good as money if the dollar ever goes sideways, okay? And you don't spend that, you hoard that, you save that, and you can get silver for as little as the little pieces and the little bags, and they come in a little bag, or you can get the silver coin. Look, Seymour said he get them every Monday. Get them every Monday, right? Just stack it, because silver's going up in value. Up, 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 up. And you can use silver in any country in the world. Okay. That's number 1. Number 2, obviously gold. Now, gold is going to be the classic hedge. I absolutely love gold. I own gold. But here's the thing with gold. It's getting very, very, very expensive as far as regular budget. And for you to get an ounce of gold, it's like $3,000. And that's going to be hard to really spend in 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years if everything go crazy. You don't really want to spend a whole, because ain't nobody going to give you no change. So you better have you a little piece of silver to get some stuff that you need, right? So silver is going to be just as valuable as gold, because you cannot you can't break it down like that. Okay. But if you buy something big, gold's going to be great. But gold's a classic hedge. I highly recommend it. But it is priced out of the budget for a lot of people right now. Okay. It is what it is. But gold and silver have those. Number 3, cash. I'm still a fan. I keep cash. I'm not telling you the world's ending tomorrow. You're fine. Cash is going to be valuable for the significant amount of time. And my point is, we still use it every single day. Let's keep it a buck. I wouldn't, if there was a suitcase with $1 million cash in it, I wasn't going to turn it down. Yeah, cash and small bills for sure. You just want to have cash, 1s and 5s, because ain't nobody giving you change if something happened. The first thing they're going to say, I ain't got no change. That's the first thing everybody going to say when it comes time to spending stuff. When did I learn this? Because when Hurricane Katrina happened in Louisiana, and we had the Louisiana floods in 2016, which were bananas, or I think it was 2016, floods everywhere, no electricity, no banks were open. Cash was what it was. And trust me, if you wanted to go get some stuff, wasn't no change. All you got is 100. Sorry, player, you the one that you don't. That's how it went. So small bills is good. You want to have cash. Okay. Number 4, I wasn't always a fan, but I'm a fan today of cryptocurrency, but specifically Bitcoin. I don't really care about any other cryptocurrencies right now. A lot of the other ones I had, I sold those, cashed them out, and bought more Bitcoin. Why? Because for some reason, I truly do not even conceptually understand Bitcoin. Honestly, I don't, not like I should, but I know that it is very, very, very valuable. Okay, so Coach Jerry just put up in there that they got silver bars for 52 bucks. That's actually a pretty good deal. That's like $10 or $20 cheaper than you can find them a lot of places. 50 bucks is a good deal. All right. Now, that being said, Bitcoin, I'm a fan. I know it sounds complicated. I know it sounds weird to a lot of people. Listen, y'all, it's weird to me. It's weird to me. Okay. But on the Coinbase app, there's an app on your phone, and you can buy $1 Bitcoin or $5 of Bitcoin. And I just typically buy a little Bitcoin every week. I've been doing that for a while on the Coinbase app. And once it gets to a certain amount, or if things get weird, you do want to move it from the Coinbase app to what's called a cold storage wallet or a ledger. It's called a cold storage wallet. You don't need to do that now. But my point is, you want to at least start to familiarize yourself with the process of sending your money, your Bitcoin from Coinbase to your cold storage wallet. And your cold storage wallet is going to be a lot more secure. You don't want the internet to go down, the Coinbase get hacked, and you can't spend that. The one I have is called the Nano. I have my cold storage wallet is called a Nano, like a Nano X or something like that. But Amazon has really great cold storage wallets, and they're cool. You just got to figure out how to use them and transfer the Bitcoin over. And you need, again, watch YouTube videos on that. I'm not about to do a whole class on cryptocurrency and stuff. All right, but that's 4. And last but not least, it's going to be physical assets. Land, valuable. But if everything goes crazy, land is only valuable insofar as how much of it you can protect and maintain. So guns and bullets become valuable, and family members and friends become valuable. Okay, so the more people you have, if something were to happen in 10, 20, 30 years, the bigger your family, the more close you are with your neighbors, the more important. Okay, guns, bullets, land that can grow stuff, anything that can grow stuff becomes very, 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 very valuable in times like that. And another reason why cash is really important is because if you felt like it, you can always dip. Don't worry. And if everything get crazy and we got to leave the country, I'll be the first one to go, and y'all will know because I'll be telling y'all on the call. All right, y'all, just letting y'all know things are looking a little too crazy this year. Me and the family, we out. We do. I'm calling them all from everywhere. Look, y'all, we out, and this is where we going. Okay, so just understand that, and definitely have a passport for that reason. Okay, so again, not trying to scare everybody, but again, you may have a decade or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But my point is, yeah, definitely want to have a passport. That goes without saying. Thank you, Marcus. But she said Baltimore concealed carry is a must. Yeah. Florida, we just be carrying. We don't even care no more. We just be carrying in Florida. We don't care. But it's just what it is. Okay, so just understand that. Now, here's the thing. One of the and again, even if if you have things like Will, I don't really want to carry a pistol. That's cool. You don't have to buy guns. A handheld crossbow. I'm a fan of a handheld crossbow. I'm a fan of a flare gun. Do you know that you do not want to get shot with a flare gun? Do you know that even if it just got one shot, that is a great deterrent for a lot of people? And flare guns, or a flare gun pistol, is not very expensive. Do you know a person does not want to be shot in the face with a flare gun? That will be a very, very bad day for them. And it's an amazing deterrent. So even if your household has one gun or no guns, but you got 5 or 6 flare guns, those are really good for protective and things like that in a pinch, and they're totally legal to have. It's a flare gun. Hey, I keep flare guns in my car. This is an emergency device. I also keep Uzis in my car, but whatever, right? So just understand, little things like that are important, but I'm a fan of firearms. I'm a fan of bullets. I was in law enforcement for 10 years. I'm a fan of personal protection. I will call the police after I have eliminated the threat. I have neutralized the threat, then I'll call the police. I'm not going to call the police and I'm trying to, right? All right. That being said, now let's get to something positive, right? Because I'm not trying to get everybody all depressed. The call's almost over. But one of the strengths of network marketing is that it's inherently about building relationships and community. When people come together in small groups, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, just like on this call, we support each other. And if you understand the value of building a team of 10, 20, 30, 40 people over the next 10, 15, 20 years, not only is that a really amazing income stream, which we're going to talk about in a second, and some positive stuff, but it's a really tight-knit network that can be really resilient and look out for each other. We got doctors on our teams. You see what I'm saying? Building a network is very, very valuable. But also with network marketing, you have a portable income source that is not tied to one location. We do business in plenty of countries. Okay, so just understand that. A lot of network marketing companies, especially ours, operate globally. Okay, actually got a really cool digital product coming, so you can operate a business with no physical product. We've got some digital stuff coming real soon. Hint, hint. So it's all about having that flexible income, that supportive team, assets like silver or other portable wealth where you can just pick it up and hop on a plane and go where you need to go. So if you want to move about the world and you're like, you know what? I don't want to live here. I want to live somewhere else. We'll talk about that. Okay. Now there are I'm gonna give y'all some products right now. These are the products that I've identified that I want to make sure I always have a good amount of, not just for me, not just for my family, but these products can be sold for far more than what they're worth. And this is why in any time of economic issue, do you notice that some people always become super wealthy? During the Great Depression, it created millionaires on top of millionaires on top of millionaires on top of millionaires, right? There's always a group of people who saw it coming a mile away and they got prepared for things to happen. So I'm gonna give y'all some products right now that if you need to do a supply order, it's okay to buy these and put them away somewhere in a cool, dry place because these are very important. Number one, black seed oil. That is the number one product that I would recommend that you can use, that you need to use, and that you can sell for a significant amount of money because it's so important. And if anything ever happens, they'll trade you silver or gold for black seed oil. I kid you not. Why? Because you can't put a price tag on your health. You can't. It's so valuable. Okay, so black seed oil, write that down. Number two, products that I would have I would just have as much of this as I could, to be quite frank. Fulvic. Whenever we have a 3-for-1 sale, 2-for-1 sale, Black Friday sale, Christmas in July, the 8 for I stock up. I'm just stocking up. I'm stocking up. Fulvic acid, the bottle, the liquid. Very, very, the little bottle, not the big one. Very, very, very important. Those are my top two. Black seed oil, Godisana, fulvic acid, HBN. Number three, this product, a lot of people didn't know it was going to be on the list. Glucoprotect. Glucoprotect. When I looked at the nutritional ingredients in Glucoprotect, it was absolutely phenomenal. If you really had to, do you know that you could actually, just my opinion, this is just for entertainment, educational purposes only. Do you know you could actually live on Glucoprotect for 7 to 10 days, if not longer? And you won't even be hungry. So if you got kids and this is a crazy situation, you might need to take you a scoop of Glucoprotect and drink that. That's all nutrition you need. You won't be hungry and you can save the food for the kids because they're growing. So if you got children in your life and grandkids and stuff, they're going to be growing. They need calories that you don't need. They're growing. So they need the food. You don't need it. Okay. Glucoprotect, super important. Another one, number four, Ocean Vitality. Woo! Ocean Vitality. So many of the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients you need that are not in any other product. Your body needs these to maintain itself. The selenium, the lithium, the gold, the silver, everything's in Ocean Vitality, plus the sea moss. It's amazing. That's number four. Number five, Beetroot Max. You cannot put a price tag on heart health. It has a lot of copper in it as well. Beetroot Max, super, super, super important product for your cardiovascular health. That is the number one thing that sends people to the hospital. And Beetroot Max is the number one thing we have that keeps people from having heart issues. So that's recommended. The next ones are going to be Align Essential Oil. Solid gold. It's more of a niche product, but at the same time, Align Essential Oil, y'all know how good it is. That video alone, the video alone will help you get sales. If you haven't seen the Align video, you probably need to. Number seven, rosemary oil. Why? Because rosemary oil is a natural anti-aging essential oil. It's the most powerful anti-aging essential oil in the world, and it reverses aging inside your body on a cellular level and slows down aging and reverses aging. It does everything to keep you as young as possible. Highly recommended rosemary. Next up is going to be clove essential oil. It's great for anti-inflammatory, great for anti-parasite. It's great for gum and dental health. You don't want to go to a dentist if everything falls apart. Clove is really great for that. Silver silver is a little bit later on my list because these aren't in order necessarily after the first 4 or 5. Clove, try remedy. You do not want to get sick. You do not want to get sick. And if you do get sick, you want to get well as fast as possible. Try remedy is that oil. It is the big guns in the immunity category. Number 10 and 11 are going to be tooth powder and soap. You got to buy them anyway. You want to be clean anyway. You got to brush your teeth anyway. You don't want to get no funky gum diseases and everything. So you want to have a lot of tooth powder and a lot of soap. You can sell that stuff to people. Okay, you can sell any of these to people, and it's very valuable. Next up, coffee. Coffee will be back soon with either HBN, I think, or Godisana, but coffee will be back soon. Coffee is one of those things where it might as well be money at the end of the day. Yeah, oregano, another very strong oil. Coffee, super important. We'll have that back real soon. Sold out. We'll have that back soon. Silver and magnesium. Okay, yeah, sold out. There's a reason for that. Yeah, Nova should be back in its current Nova form. I should know more by Tuesday, but I'll announce that either the new coffee or the Nova. Now, silver magnesium, yep, sold out. But when they come back, you probably want to get on them. Okay, so silver and magnesium, very, very, very important. And then the last two I'll finish with, they got tons, by the way. But not no, not Java Slim. Java Slim will not be back. Not that I know of. Lemon and peppermint oil. If you gotta drink water anyway, peppermint oil will get you right. Lemon oil will get you right. It can be some flavors in the water, and it actually helps with your cardiovascular endurance and everything else. So you can use those products and you can sell those products. And that is very, very, very important in case anything ever has to happen. People may be laughing at salespeople today, but they don't be laughing when stuff be going wrong. All right. Now, here's what I'll give you as we get ready to wrap up the call. And please put a 1 in the chat if this information has been enlightening for you or insightful for you. And if you're even a little bit more understanding about why you have to take care of your business and build it now and get it over with. So let me tell you what a lot of people do in times of strange unrest, okay? They move. And then a lot of people don't move. If it gets bad enough, I want you to at least have the money to say, hey, family, we're moving. I know it won't be awesome, but we're moving. And I'm going to let you know, you can write this down. Nobody else is giving you information like this. I'm giving you the top 5 places for people that are American. Now, if you got to move in 10 years, like, hey, I wish I could bring it all with me, but I can't. It got too crazy too fast, and we need to go. I am going to, because there's a certain amount of people who think that way. Not all of y'all. Some people are like, man, I've been here. I was born here. I'm going to die here. Love that for you. I'm not really like that. I'm at a point where I'm like, if I got to move, I'm probably going to move. Honestly, I don't see it happening. I don't see it coming, but I'm still going to give you some places that you might want to look at. Okay. Yeah. Clean it out. Okay. So if you want to move to Asia, I'm going to give you the top 5 places. You can write these down and catch these on recording. All right. Yep. Portugal's on the list of Europe. Yep. Portugal's market. We might be neighbors. All right. Here we go. So in Asia, Taiwan. Okay. If you want to live pretty well in Taiwan, like live really well, it's about $1,500 a month. $1,500 a month will really get you a very nice place to live. Food, healthcare, transportation, rent, Wi-Fi, gym membership, movies, food. You can live $1,500 a month. If you're making $2,000 a month in your network marketing business and you decide to fly to Taiwan, you could actually live there really, really, really well for less than $1,500 a month. So just know that, okay? For example, if you wanted in Taipei, the main city, that's really good. If you had a 1-bedroom, I don't care if you had to stack your family members in there. This is just for a 1-bedroom. It's about $500 a month in a very nice 1-bedroom in the middle of the best city in the country. Okay, the best, brightest, cleanest, safest city, safest, most stable city in the country. Rent is $500 for a 1-bedroom. That is dang near free. It is dang near free. Okay, compared to here. But again, if you work here in America, you got to understand if you got a pension or something or retirement, that's going to be paid in US dollars. So if US dollars start to decrease, all right, network marketing, you are going to be paid in US dollars, but you get a lot more US dollars and you can convert your currency if you ever need to. I pray that you don't. I don't think we will, but I'd rather you have this information and not need this information than need this information and not have this information. Okay, so that's Taiwan. All right, Malaysia. I never thought about living in Malaysia, but apparently Malaysia come in all of these cities. I'm gonna tell you, I based the search for these cities on safety, stability, affordability in relation to the US dollar, and they have a good community of people from America or Western countries who've already moved there. So you won't be lost. There's communities of people from America and Europe who've already moved to all these countries. So that's the thing I ranked these on. That's why I selected these countries. The next one is Malaysia. Malaysia, you can live really well for $1,000 a month. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Thailand. I think Sydney Brown just went to Thailand. She's traveling all over Asia right now. Thailand, you want to live good in Thailand? $800 a month. $800 a month. You can, what? That includes transportation, healthcare, food, movies, entertainment expenses, clothes, rent, everything. Everything. That's crazy. 800, you making 800 bucks a month with your Go to Sign or HBM business, you could move tomorrow and be living like a rock star. That's crazy, but it's true. Okay. Last two we'll give you in Asia is Vietnam. I've never been to Vietnam, but I want to check it out. They said to stay in a really, really nice area, $230 a month for rent. And you add living costs, you're going to be spending about between $600 and $700 to live really, really well in Vietnam, like really, really well. And again, don't take my word for it. Don't take the word of the media for it. Oh, I'd never want to live in Thailand or Vietnam. Google it. Put fun things to do in Vietnam. Look, most beautiful places to visit. Like, look at these countries. Don't listen to what the news tells you about all of these places. You got to do your own research. Okay. For example, the media tells me that New York and LA are amazing. I would never live in either of those places. I'd visit, but I'd never live there. You got to look around a little bit. Okay. The last place I'd look at in Asia is Indonesia, specifically Bali. I know everybody knows people that have moved to Bali. You can live in Bali in a community full of other people from America and Europe who moved there for 700 bucks a month, and that includes everything. And I mean everything. Okay. Look, Georgette said Vietnam is awesome. Look, there it is. I'd rather talk to people who've been there. She said it's awesome. I don't need to listen to the news tell me how crazy it is. I want to talk to people in our team that I trust have been. All right. So that's there. Next up, Africa. Because man, Africa has not gotten a good rap from the media. But the more research I do on the motherland, I can tell you it is absolutely incredible. I see why the Garden of Eden was there. Like, I get it. Okay, I've done enough research now. Places to live, top five places to live in Africa based on safety, stability, affordability, and a strong community of people from America who moved there. Okay. Number one, Rwanda. Do you know I heard about the genocide in Rwanda years and years and years ago? Apparently, they've really moved past that. And now Rwanda is the number one country in Africa to move to. It is considered the safest. It's cleaner than America. What? Rwanda, cleaner than America. Absolutely incredible. $850 to $900 a month is going to get you living in a good place, and that is all inclusive. Clean, fresh, awesome. Do not litter. In fact, one day a month, everybody comes out to clean up the streets. Like every single citizen in Rwanda on like the last Saturday of the month. There it is, Marcus Hill. The last Saturday of the month, they all come clean up the streets and everything. It's the cleanest country they have ever seen, right? It's amazing. And it's that or third. Second, okay, it's going to be Ghana. Now, I've been kind of torn on Ghana. I'm like, maybe, maybe not. But Ghana, if you're in the district where all the people from America moved at, super awesome. 1,100 bucks a month, which is a little bit higher than what I thought, but you would live really, really, really well. 1,100 bucks will get you situated in Ghana, all included. Airport's amazing, Accra's amazing. Ghana's got a lot going on. Intellectual and technologically, it is one of the most advanced countries in Africa and the world. I did not know that, but it's the truth. All right. Next up, Namibia. People have been sleeping on Namibia. Absolutely beautiful. $1,000 a month, US. You're living like a king in Namibia. Awesome. Botswana. Did not do a lot of research on Botswana, but it came up consistently in my top 5 list, specifically because it's $340 a month for rent in a really, really nice area. 340 bucks a month for rent, 900 bucks a month total gets you situated. And then Mauritius, okay? Mauritius and Seychelles were 2 other places that they say are absolutely beautiful, like oceanside or oceanfront type places. 900 bucks a month, you are living comfortably. So for $12,000 a year, you are living at a standard of life that is hard for us to conceive of here in the States. All right, let's do 2 more. Europe, y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all are learning from this, because I love doing stuff like this. I know the call's running a little long, but put a 1 in the chat if this information may be valuable to you or your family or friends 10 years from now. Okay, just a thought, All right, you're not going to hear this on the news. All right, Europe. All right, Portugal. Now that's always the number 1 spot that we hear is going to be Portugal. And when you look at Portugal, everything included about 1,800 bucks a month. Okay, St. Lucia, right? Everything. I got a buddy of mine who just moved to St. Lucia. Literally just moved there. He is literally there right now. Um, Portugal, okay, Portugal, Lisbon, Portugal. For one person, about 1,800 bucks a month, living very, very well in Portugal. It really ranked high in safety, stability, affordable, and everything else. But again, you get into the $2,000 range for $2,500 for a family, stuff like that. That starts to get a little higher. But again, if you got a network marketing business that's paying 2,500 bucks a month, $3,000 a month, it really opens up to Europe as an option for you to move if you don't want to do Asia or Africa, because culturally they can be very different than what a lot of people in America are used to. But you will need to make a little more money. You're paying for a better infrastructure. In Spain, specifically Valencia, Spain, 1,600 bucks a month. Absolutely amazing. It's Spain. I've been to Portugal, been to Spain. They're both incredible. Greece, Athens, Greece. This is where Giannis Antetokounmpo comes from. Athens, Greece is amazing. Been there, love it. But for 1,700 bucks a month, you are getting absolutely amazing accommodations in Athens. And again, it takes us out of the $1,000, 800, $700,000 range for Africa and Asia, but gets you up into that $1,500 to $2,000 range. But that's going to be Greece. You know, you got great Wi-Fi. Everybody wants to be there, right? You're getting more what you pay for, but it's still way cheaper than anywhere in America, anywhere. Okay. These next two places I've not been to personally, but they ranked really high on the list. Sicily, actually, in southern Italy, is also ranked really, really high. Sicily and Italy, so Italy ranked really high as well. But these next two places, the Czech Republic, specifically Prague, for about 1,800 bucks a month, all included, and then Poland. Don't know Poland, but Krakow, Poland, 1,500 bucks a month, all included, living in a safe area with tons of American expats who move there. So apparently, Portugal, Spain, Greece, Italy, the Czech Republic, and Poland, that's your top picks in Europe. And those are all going to run you between 1,500 and $2,000. Africa and Asia. Asia was Taiwan, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, like with Bali. That's about $1,000. And then you got Africa, Rwanda, Ghana, Namibia, Botswana, and Mauritius, all about $1,000 as well. Last but not least, we're going to where Coach Seymour's people hail from. We're going to Latin America, ladies and gentlemen. And any questions in the chat before we do our top 5 Latin American list and we wrap up this call? Don't like Westerners moving there. See, now right there, they've been to places like Spain, Mexico, a lot of the places. I have had no issues at any of those places. Maybe I've been to Greece, been to Turkey, been all over the world, Philippines. I've never had an issue anywhere. So when you see people saying things like, "Oh, they being mean to tourists," I've never experienced any of that. And no, I'm not saying it's not facts. I've never experienced that. And some people just don't know how to conduct themselves in other countries. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe people of color differently, because when I go to places like Turkey, I fit in just fine. When I went to Greece, they got the Greece people look like Greece people in movies. Then they got people in Greece that look like me. That's Greek. They got people in Italy. If you ever go to southern Italy, you are going to see a lot of darker skinned Italian people. But southern Italy is only 70 miles from North Africa, like by boat. You can literally go for a boat 70 miles from North Africa to Italy. So yeah, so that's my point. I love the internet. I'm glad they give us information and stuff like that. But again, with social media and everything, the news and everything, I'm only going to go with my personal experience and people who I personally know who've been there. So when Coach Seymour tell me Panama is amazing, I go with that. When Betty tell me Spain is incredible, I go with that. You know, when they told me that Thailand was amazing, our team was from Thailand, they loved it. Love it. That's how when my brother went to Tanzania, he said it was incredible. I'm like, bro, love it for you. Can't wait. I like, because I know how we act. I know how we conduct ourselves in public very respectfully in other countries. Some people, they don't really act a certain way, and then they get treated a certain way, and then they'll record that. So I don't know how that all went. And that's not what this is all about. But let's go Latin America right quick. Top 5, Latin America. All right, top 5. Yeah, I've heard really good things about Lithuania, really good things about Romania as well. So yeah, a lot of countries you can check out. But again, let me be clear. I don't foresee any of this actually needing to happen. But again, I'd rather you have information and not need it than need information and not have it. Okay. So let's go to top 5. Number 1 in Latin America, Kuchimo already said it, was Panama. Panama, you can get $500 for a place in a really, really great neighborhood. If you really want to live it up, $1,300 a month is what Panama is going to get you, and you'll be good to go. Mexico was also top 5. Mexico, about $1,000. United States, you're living really, really well for $1,000. Ecuador, I haven't been to Ecuador. $900 a month. You're living really, really well there. Colombia, I haven't been there before. $900, you're living really well. And then this one was also in all the top 5 lists from Latin America. Costa Rica, $1,400 a month. You're living really well in Costa Rica. Okay. So all of those places are places you can look at. Building. Yeah, I got people that I know that do network marketing that moved to Costa Rica years ago just because. He was like, yeah, I'm not coming back to America. I'm saving too much. Yeah, they told me the same thing. They love it there. Okay. So as we close this call, just understand this. Okay, just understand this. The fall of empires, history repeats itself, and it's possible. Just understand that. The Roman, Spanish, British, Ottoman empires, the French empires all began to decline the same way. Overextension, debt, debasement of currency, internal division. Every one of those empires believed that their dominance would last forever until inflation, overexpansion, and social unrest ate away the foundation. Then you fast forward to now. Okay, United States, inflation is a beast, 700 some military bases, $38 trillion national debt. We're borrowing to sustain it. The question isn't to panic, but it really is to prepare. And old models, a lot of times, do not work in terms of making money that you can make a certain amount of money relatively quickly the way that it can in network marketing. Video rental stores used to be a great way to make money. People used to open, I knew a guy who had 5 video rental stores and he was rivaling Blockbuster. All of them closed. Okay. So that used to be a great way to make money. Not no more. Traditional newspapers, magazines, and media used to be huge, got replaced by social media feeds for free. Don't even invest in newspapers and magazines. It's over. Get over that. People didn't remember. I don't know. A lot of y'all might not remember this. Payphones. Do you know that there were places that where you could buy payphones and install them and you would collect the money from the payphone, not the city? Okay, that used to be a business model. People putting payphones in different places, like people do at ATMs now. You could have an ATM route or a vending machine route. You used to be able to have a payphone route. That's over. That's over. Okay. 9 to 5 secure jobs. If 2025 has taught you nothing else, 9 to 5. AI and outsourcing in the internet is making 9 to 5 jobs fragile unless you do a job that, like a doctor or a nurse that really can't be replaced, right? Like a lawyer or something. There are jobs, well, that's a business because you don't have a boss. But those jobs that are where you're doing something that cannot be duplicated, those are good right now. But if you got something that can be outsourced, it's gonna get outsourced. Just understand that. Corporate pensions, that's gone. What's 2 other ways that people used to go? What's the way that y'all can think of as we close the call that people used to use to make money that used to be a great idea, but it's not a great idea no more? I would think the gold rush in California. People in 200, 300 years ago were going to California to mine for gold like it was going out of style. You would be a fool to go to California to mine for gold today, right? This is the old ways of making money. Get over that, all right? Going to be an actor in LA. I'm going to go be an actor in LA and I'm going to just go figure out how to live. You can if you, I'm going to go be a musician in LA and I'm going to figure it out. If you think that's hot, then go right ahead, okay? But network marketing is on the other side of the spectrum. Network marketing falls in lines of one of those types of ways of making money for you and your family and generating financial security that used to be dismissed, but is going to be very valuable. Like Bitcoin. People said Bitcoin was some weird scam thing back in the day. And anybody who didn't get it, like me, I didn't get a lot of it back then, like an idiot. We all feel played. Just understand that. Domain investing. Okay, people used to buy domain names like they would just go to like this before GoDaddy. Whenever they figured out they could buy domain names, they would go buy Nike.com, Reebok.com. People were just buying domain names. People were like, why are you, nobody's going to shop online. We going to Foot Locker, we going to the mall. No, why are you wasting money spending $200 buying Nike.com? And then Nike had to go buy it from them for $3 million. $3 million. Yeah, just think about that. So domain investing, people said it was stupid. Turns out it was smart. Bitcoin, people said it was weird and stupid. Turns out it was smart. Online courses. Do you know people said you should not try to even put your school or your stuff online? You got to go to school and go to college and get these heavy books that cost all this money and this, that, and the third. And people who created online courses back in the day made a boatload of money. Russell Brunson and all these other people, they figured it out early when other people saying that school and learning online was stupid. And now you let me tell it, learning online is better than any college in the world, including Harvard or Yale and anything else. And look, Shauna just said it, the pandemic really turned it up. You are 1,000% correct, okay? Influencer marketing. Years ago, 6 years ago, was saying, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. And they were saying that's dumb. You can't make no money on YouTube and this, that, or a third. You better go get a real job. These kids are beating YouTube out the frame and making millions of dollars from YouTube, streaming and doing all video game streaming and stuff that people said was dumb. Parents were telling their kids, you mean to tell me you're gonna get on Twitch or YouTube and you just gonna play video games? Mom, I'm telling you, I'm gonna make money doing this. And the kids are making more money than the parents with these streaming channels. This guy, I Show Speed, Kai Cenat, Mr. Beast, he started, he's like 11 years old or something. These are all multimillionaires, by the way. Multi-millionaires, by the way. All being influencers, whatever that is, right? But their parents and nobody else believed in them back in the day. I need y'all to understand network marketing is going to have the same type of rise. The skills y'all are developing, the networks you're building, all of that is going to go through the roof in terms of demand because of the information you can provide to people, the products that we have, which are going to only get more and more valuable as the whole world changes, and the financial opportunity, which is going to be the number one thing that people are really going to need. Because every generation has this blind spot. People laughed at AOL, they laughed at MySpace, they laughed at the internet, they dismissed social media, they said it would never be a viable business. Now they're underestimating network marketing, not realizing it's becoming the most accessible digital franchise in human history. No storefront, no employees, and you can do it anywhere in the world. How do we know this? Because when you scroll down to the bottom of Walmart.com and Amazon.com and Nike.com and MacMakeup.com and Target.com, what are you seeing at the bottom of all of those websites? What are they giving you an opportunity to do in all of those websites? An affiliate program. And what is an affiliate program? It's simply network marketing for less money than we make. That's the only difference. Affiliate program says you have a link from us, share the link, they buy products, you get paid. Nike does it, they don't call it a scam. Amazon does it, they don't call it a scam. Target does it, they don't call it a scam. Best Buy does it, they don't call it a scam. But when I do it, it's a problem. You see what I'm saying? That is exactly how people talked about Bitcoin, YouTubers, Netflix, and everything else before they exploded. So all I'll tell you is y'all in the right place. You're definitely the right time. You're actually early, but you have to be a part of a network marketing company that has, products that matter, right? That people actually need and want and help people, and a compensation plan that allows people to either build an empire here in the United States that nothing can get through, right? Or to travel about the world and go build something there in case they're not comfortable being here. This industry can give you the hundreds of thousands, if not the millions of dollars to do that. You literally could make $50,000 for network marketing commissions, and that would give you 5 years of living, 5 years of everything you needed in one of those other countries we talked about today. Think about that. You could make $50,000, some of y'all within the next 90 days, if you took this seriously and talked to enough people, which most people won't. Most of you won't. I can admit that. I will. I know most of you probably won't. I wish you would. You can make $50,000, $60,000 on top of what you already make. I'm going to make that anyway, but I want new money, right? You make that 50,000, you literally, if you wanted to, you can take $1,000 a month, go to one of those countries, and that gives you 50 months. That's like 4 years of living, and you will be fine for 4 years. That money that you would have to get a full-time job here in America to make 50 grand, you could take that same money. If you could make 50,000 online with the skills we teach each and every week, you could live for 4 years off the same, live really well, by the way, off 4 years for the same people would have to spend 1 year here and it wouldn't even be great. Okay. Annuities and stocks are good too. They're good for now, but we'll probably do a separate class on that because we're way out of time. But we will do a class on the difference between domestic stocks, global stocks, and how to invest. I think we did one of those maybe 3 years ago, but this will be a great time to do another class on that. Okay. All right. So that being said, thank y'all so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. This is all I got to tell you. People who build networks and communities and portable income streams, they're going to thrive in the next era. It's going to be amazing for you. Network marketing is not just a side hustle. I need you to stop thinking about it like that. It is a global franchise movement. It's part business, it's part social, it's giving everyday people like us ownership in an economy that's otherwise out of our control. All right. So yesterday's safe path is a trap. Yesterday's crazy idea is a gold mine. So if someone tells you, you're talking to people this week, sharing this information with them, okay, about why they need to get involved in network marketing, and someone tells you your network marketing here isn't a real business, you should smile and remember that people said the same thing about Bitcoin, YouTube, Amazon, and Netflix. They sure did. They sure did. All right. So y'all have a good night. God bless. I appreciate y'all so much. And we will see y'all tomorrow, 7 p.m. on a testimonial call. Okay. And Coach Marcus is always great to have this recording up for us. And so I want to thank him and I want to thank Miriam for getting this call situated for us. And we will see y'all on the next one. Good night. God bless. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.